Mastering presentation design. Aligning content with objectives. Hello there. Welcome to today's video, where we are going to discuss an incredibly important topic when it comes to designing effective presentations. Aligning content with objectives. By the end of this video, you should be able to identify your presentation's objectives and make sure your content aligns with these objectives to deliver a clear and impactful message. Before we begin aligning our content with objectives, we need to understand what we mean by objectives. When it comes to presentations, objectives are the key points or goals you want your audience to understand, remember, or act upon after your presentation. In simpler terms, the objectives are the takeaways you want your audience to leave with. So, our first task when preparing a presentation is to clearly establish what those objectives are. Once you have your objectives set, it's time to start developing content. Now, this is where many people often stumble. There can be a tendency to include as much information as possible, but this can be overwhelming for your audience and can dilute your main points. Remember, every piece of content in your presentation should serve your objectives. If you find a piece of content doesn't support your objectives, you may want to consider removing it or replacing it with something more appropriate. Now that we've got our objectives and potential content, it's time for the alignment process. For each piece of content, ask yourself, does this support my objectives? If the answer is yes, great. If the answer is no, then you need to think about how necessary that piece of content is. The goal is to ensure that each element of your presentation is purposefully included and directly supports your identified objectives. This alignment will ensure your presentation is focused, impactful, and achieves its intended goals. Aligning content with objectives isn't a one-time task. As you develop your presentation, you should regularly revisit your objectives and the alignment of your content. Is your message still clear? Are you still focused on your objectives? Have you added in new content that isn't aligned? Continuous refinement is key to developing an effective presentation. That brings us to the end of today's lesson on aligning content with objectives in presentation design. Remember, your objectives are your guiding star, and every piece of content should serve these objectives. It's about quality, not quantity, and focused, purposeful content will always create a more powerful impact. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson where we will dive deeper into the world of effective presentation design. Happy presenting!